Hey everybody, Leepeh here. Hey everybody, Leepeh here, and I am playing Citadel. Forged by fire, forged with fire, leave forged with fire. Anywho, so right now as you see, I'm level 33. I've been playing this game for a hot ass minute, and I figured I'd share with you guys also what's been going on. I've been building some stuff, and I figured, you know what, I should be putting this stuff online more because this is a really fun game. So I'll most likely will probably get like a whole new world going on, but because I've gotten so far in this world, I'm gonna stay in it and just kind of show you around. It's a pretty fun game. It's kind of like Ark, except for just with magic and the ability to fly. And you can get, of course, your tamed creatures to help you out. You just gotta make sure you, of course, feed them ever so often, so that way they are better. So I always, usually after so often, I always just move items and they'll eat them. I usually always just give them meat. They're pretty chill with me after some meat. Just... So, anyways, so what I'm doing is I'm getting stone because I'm building like this huge, opulent, like castle-esque thing on top of this mountain. And what I decided to do was I'm probably going to make a couple of other crazy houses once I get more material. That was weird. Once I get like more material game, as I get higher up in levels, you can have more access to things. Like in Ark, it's not as, and I hate to say it, it's not as convoluted as some of the crap in Ark is, like trying to understand, trying to create your own world. This is pretty nice, pretty self-explanatory in what you're doing and what you need to do. It's pretty user friendly, and I really appreciate that. And so I love this. I've been looking at this game for a while now, and it came on sale, and I was like, you know what, it's on sale, so I'm gonna try it out. I will say, after I first got it, and this was a few months ago, I didn't play it automatically right away because it did, for some reason, overheat my PlayStation 4, and I have a PlayStation 4 Pro, and it completely overheated it, and I was like, what the fuck? Um, so I looked up into it, and it was known for doing that, but since then I have not had an issue. I will say there are times where it does sound like a little bit like a jet engine is taking off, but it instantly goes down and it's silent again, so it's not as bad. When I first started playing this game, it was like a constant, like it sounded like my PS4 was a jet engine constantly. Like it was bad. Like I had to stop playing it because it literally overheated my entire system where it would not turn on for about an hour. So I was not happy, and there was other people that were having the same issue. So it seems that they have since then fixed that issue, thank God. At least I'm hoping they did. But so far, I've not had any issues since playing the game since then. No overheating, thank you. Just every now and then, because it is an online game, you will hear that like sound like in your PlayStation, but it's not as bad as it once was. So definitely have fixed it. So great going, guys. Hopefully, we won't have any more issues. They definitely. It's one thing I noticed about this game is they definitely listen to the users, to the players. But anyways, um, I did it. I first started with like me getting low experience and not a lot of uh, like items and equipment when I would go out and collecting stuff. Like it just wouldn't give me a lot, and so building stuff became a hassle because when I go build, I want to, take my time. And even now, it's kind of like me. I could probably bring it up a little bit, but I figure it makes a good amount because then I can leave, and if I want to do some more quests, I can. But I like being able to collect as much as I can so that way I can go. But I don't like cheating where I don't like the cheating where you can in the game if you want to have like unlimited resources where you have everything that you need on hand, but I just feel like that to me is just cheating. I didn't want to do that. I want to do the work. Um, so I decided, just gonna go with it, and I've been okay with it. I enjoy that. It doesn't bother me. It's like collecting it. I love collecting things in games anyway, so doing this is no different to me. I really do love this game. That and like the fact that I can just jump on a broom. I was telling my friend the other day, I was like, oh my God, I feel like, I'm like in a different country and like I'm on a Quidditch team. And then I just found out last night that in this game there is like a game for with your broomsticks. It's broomstick ball or some crazy shit. I don't know. I'm not able to get I'm not able to get everything, so hopefully pretty soon since I just leveled up, I'll be able to get the entirety of the game and I can set it up in one of these places that I'm building. So again, I don't know if you guys saw my previous video when I did Citadel, but I believe I showed you my little hut that I had, which I'll fly back to that in a second. Which is my first place that I built. It's like my bog hut. It's in the middle of like a bog, but it was like the perfect place to be because I could get iron ore and rocks and wood and everything. So it was a really nice place. And what I decided to do was outside of each of the first um, places where you can pick to show up at in the beginning of the game, I'm gonna build these housing places. So like in this area, it's gonna be this big castle, and the other one I don't know what I want it to be because I still haven't leveled up a lot of the equipment for housing. So I don't know if there's a different type of material besides just stone and thatch yet. I'm sure there is, but I don't really want to look everything up in the game. I'm kind of working on it as I go. And that's another thing I like about this game is that there's daily quest, but what's great is that you don't get your next daily quest until you finish the daily quest that you're on. So there's no rush or time limit to get it done. You just do it as you need to because they know that you're gonna want around and get stuff. So I think it's another reason why I like about this game. And that not only do enemies constantly respawn, but so does the loot. And if I'm not mistaken, the loot kind of changes too. So if you remember where all the boxes are, you can go back and get them after so long. I have seen some of them that haven't gone back, but I think that may be because I went back too soon or something. I don't know. But anywho, this game, it is especially in these times, it is a fun game because you get to, get away and fight these characters. So yeah, these characters are normal characters that you'll fight. So Stephanie is a sprite. We decided to call her Stephanie. And I did have a skeleton named Sheldon, but he got when in my castle I'm building, he got stuck in the floor. So I got so mad at him that I kicked him out and then killed him. And then I ran into Tammy here at when she was a level 1, so she's a level 4 now. So, but I decided to call her Tammy. Even though what I wanted to do with the first letter of their name is the first letter of what they are. So it should be an S because that's a skeleton. Like Stephanie is an S because she's a sprite. So I'm gonna have to rename Tammy. As a matter of fact, that's another great thing. You can rename your animals. It's fantastic. So like Tammy, since it's an S, Scarlet. Scarlet. Scarlet the skeleton. Alright, Scarlet. And Stephanie. and you have to remember to feed them so they like you and they pay attention to you. You got to remember to feed them. And I don't know if that's how I'm supposed to feed them or not. I'm assuming that's what I'm supposed to do. So if anybody knows, I just move the items over to them and I'm assuming that they eat them because they're never in their inventory. So I'm assuming, well, if they're not in their inventory and I just gave them to them, then they must have ate it. But you know what they say assuming is, so I don't want to assume that. So if I am correct in my thinking that when you just hand over the food, they just automatically eat it, then great, fantastic. But I like to overanalyze and think things, but that's just me. Huh. Let's get more stuff. I need more stuff. So this stuff, like I'm sure you guys remember, I love it because like the plant grows, but this is for like clothing and so that's very good to have because it's cloth and I can get refined cloth, which I need all the freaking time to make shit, which I'm gonna need more of because I can now create like those big flags that go on top of buildings. So I can actually create that on top of my castle areas that I have. So what's crazy is that that's times. So that's 10 times 7, that's 70, and then 70 times 7. And then that's a lot. So let me show you like how like I'm not joking. Like that shit's insane like what I decided in 9,021. What? Oh, Jesus. Sorry about that, guys. I just had a message pop up. Had to take it real quick. I this morning went to go to uh you know the doctor's office, get my medication and get everything done that I needed to do today. And as I got there, I like my um my thing in the car went off telling me that my tire was dangerously low. And like the way that our tires have been basically is that like somebody, and it may have been me probably, ran basically hit a okay. Okay. So yeah, so the tire popped and so I went so when I got to the doctor's office I realized I was like, oh shit. So I went to go take care of the tire and I got to the gas station, but I drove really slow. And then because I thought maybe it was just because it was bending in on itself and that's what happened. So I tried to put air in the tire and nothing was happening. So I was like, fuck. So I pulled away from the air pump as best as I could so people can get in. And I called AAA just to find out that my AAA expired this time last year. So I was like, shit, I forgot about that. So then I remembered I had a spare, so I was like, all right, well let me get the spare out. Let me try this. So I got the spare out and I got it on like I got the spare out and then I was like, okay, let me get the tire off. So the car now has this issue where, like, after you put it in stop and you parked it and you turn on, it still moves. Like, I mean, it stops, but it moves a little bit after it's been parked, which is not good because it moves a lot. So I'm trying to, because I got the car raised at this point, which, is probably the hardest part is trying to figure out where the jack goes to pump up the car because you put it in the wrong spot and it fucks it up. So I literally just, read I just read the picture on the thing because the whole thing was in like Japanese or Chinese because it's a Mazda. I can't remember. I think it's Japanese. So it was in Japanese. So I just looked at the picture and then I realized, oh, okay, I see. It shows there's like these little circular, half circle areas where they go in. So I figured it out, got the jack up because I didn't want to break the car because last time I almost broke the damn thing. So now that I figured out the area, I was like, okay, cool. So I tried to get the bolts off. I stood on the damn like wrench or whatever, and yeah, I did have the lock for the tire for for the bolt for that one bolt for each of them. But those bolts were like fucking screwed on there so fucking tight. Like I had I had to ask for help. Like I needed help. So I called I called basically my sister-in-law. I called my sister. I mean, she might as well be my sister. And asked her, and she's like, "Well, I have AAA, but I have to be there." And I was like, "Damn it!" She's like, "Let me see if I can get, her baby daddy of her boyfriend up." And he, by the grace of God, now mind you, like we live out in like town and country Oldsmar, basically, like town and country Oldsmar, West Chase, like right in that area, off a country way. And they like that's where I live, and they live right around the corner too. We all live in that area. And he had to go all the way out to 50th and Columbus in Tampa, which is basically like, 30 minutes, about 30, 35 minutes, almost 40 minutes. Basically from Hillsborough, Sheldon, all the way out to the casino, basically, is where he had to come and get me because he had the tools for the car. So he had like this big old wrench thing that you like put in a tubing and it just, helps with, you know, unloosening all those tight shits up. So we're able to get it off finally. But I tried, man. I tried by myself for so long. And I told him, I said, I'm so sorry. I was trying myself, so you didn't have to come all the way out here. And he was like, nah, man. He goes, look, at least you were able to figure out how that worked and how this worked. Because I haven't really never had I've only had to change a tire a couple times, but that was on a different car and it was a lot easier. It was a Honda Civic hatchback. Man, that tire was easy as shit to change. It was no issues for me. It was light as hell. This car tire, this Mazda 3 hatchback, the tire is a little bit bigger and thicker and a pain in the ass to deal with. So I was very blessed to have somebody that had the correct materials to help me out today. Like, thank you, sir. Thank you. And, it just, what sucked is that all these people around me were just literally watching me struggling, and not a single person asked me if I needed help. And I get like coronavirus, so you don't want to get sick and shit. But, like, it's always been like that. And what's crazy is I notice whenever I'm with like my friends and if they're female and they have car trouble, like a guy will instantly stop and help out. Like I don't understand like why people think oh, he's a man, he can do this. Like just because I'm a man doesn't mean anything. Just because she's a woman doesn't mean anything. You know, my friend, I mean, some of my friends were like, yes, I need help. But then I had friends that were like, no, dude, why are you asking if I need help? Because I'm a woman? I can figure this shit out. No, I don't need your help. I know how to do this. So, like, it just, it just amazes me how, like, when you need help, no one's there when you, like, truly need it. But then when you don't need it, somebody's there, always there to give you advice that you don't want or need. And it's like, well, where were you when I needed you? I don't need you now. It's like, I hope I'm making sense. So, anyways, so I had an event today. So, and then I had forgotten my bag because I had to have like a to get medication to take it home. I had to have it in a locked container because, I don't want people stealing your shit. And I forgot it. So thank God, since, we all live next to each other, he was able to come over to my house real quick and he was able to come over to my apartment real quick and pick it up. And it it was just crazy how like one person did so much, and it was early in the morning, far away. One person he didn't ask for anything in return, and I knew he was annoyed too, and I felt so bad. But like, it was just nice to have somebody that actually was like, "Yeah, I got you. Don't worry about it. Thank you. I appreciate that." It was nice in a world of craziness to see that there are people that do care, and it just everything going on lately has been just insane. I've been trying to rekindle old friendships, but still at the same time, trying to make sure I don't, do anything stupid, because I'm a recovered addict. Like, I used to use every single day, like, no joke. I was on some crazy fucking shit. And, I mean, now I'll smoke weed, but that to me is, that to me helps me out with my seizures, helps me out, um, helps me out with my sleep. So that has a purpose. And um, but anywho, it was nice to have somebody help me out because I'm not. I mean, I'm used to people helping me out, but every time somebody helps me out, it's always a squid pro quo. I know it's a quid pro quo, but I call it a squid pro quo. Quid pro quo, just basically fancy talk for I scratch your back, you scratch mine. So yeah, so it was nice to have somebody that's like, yeah, I got you. But anywho, man, like getting back to everything else going on, the craziness, dude, the craziness. But yeah, so I got all the crap back on the vehicle, got the donut on, and then I still need to get air in it because the donut's kind of near, but it could be just because of how it's sitting. But I'm still gonna have to probably put a little bit more air in it. Um, but I was able to get back home safely and soundly. Uh, and then for some reason, I just could not calm down. Like my anxiety was just through the roof after dealing with this car, man, because I felt like I was, every time I get in this car, I feel like I'm gonna die. And like I've talked to some people, have asked, explained about this car, and these people have paid a lot of money, so I don't want to go to these people and keep on bothering them for help. Um, but I have, expressed concerns about this vehicle to some people, and it falls on deaf ears. Because this car, man, is a death trap of ours. And, I mean, we tried to look to see if we can at least trade it in or how much. But yeah. But yeah, so I was able to get home, and then because of my anxiety, I have just been feeling super weak today. And on top of that, but yeah. So, anyways, so I got just been super dizzy. My anxiety levels have been through the roof, and I just had this pounding headache. And I don't know if I had a seizure. I felt like I had a seizure because um, I had a bit of a time lapse in time, and when I come to from my seizures, I'm usually really confused and don't know a lot of answer to things. So the trick is looking at the way you move. I like the way you move. Da da da. I like the way you move. Da da da. I like the way you move. Da da da. I like the way. I like the way. I like the way you move. Da da da. I like the way you move. Da da da. I like the way. I like the way. I like the way. I literally thought I saw a face in that stump. It freaked me out. I was like, is that a face I see in the stump? No, it's just the lighting. Although there are some divots that make it look like a skunk. Dark Bolt and Arcanity. Oh man, but that one has Dark Bolt. And I would not be able to get the Dark Bolt. You know? You see? You see there? And I don't want to frozen. So I may have to wait before I can use that one. I may have to wait. Or I can use it in place of... No, I can't. Sorry, my love. Need to get more rock. But I need to go to my house real quick. That's where I want to go. Come on, guys. Y'all gotta calm down. Y'all are going way too much today. I may have to turn the game off if it continues to do that. Because now the game is having its moments where it's getting a lot louder, but that's only when it gets hotter. So just gotta make sure you keep everything away from it so it doesn't overheat and shit. I usually sometimes if it starts getting hot, I have like a icing I guess you put for your knee or whatever, and I'll put that on the back of it with like a paper towel or something so it doesn't get wet or anything, but just to cool it down just for a little bit. And that usually actually has helped a lot. And it like has helped quite a bit, I know. Waka waka, I got a funny ass joke. Waka waka, let me tell you a funny ass joke. But yeah, so you'll see me. Literally, I go around a lot just because I need to get all these tools and shit. So I'm trying to get some other things as well because when I go to the house, I'm gonna have to craft some things. But what I would suggest if you are gonna play this game is if start off like I am doing now, where it's just you alone, and then join a server later after you've gotten pretty high up the level and you've gotten all the map and you understand it. Then I would join a server, um, because then it adds a different element where you have to deal with other people in the same environment where they can actually attack, where the people can actually attack what I'm building right now, and they could destroy this and have me have to rebuild it over again. Um, so they can come over and steal your shit too. And there's nothing against it, but there are some. But if you don't like that, there are some servers that don't allow that. But you can do it, but they just, it's basically a practice that's kind of shunned against, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do, and if that, the leader of the server says it's okay in their server, then it's okay in their server, and you have to deal with it. But some people don't like it if you take from them, especially in this game, because it's hard work to do all of it. And if you just go and steal somebody's hard work, then they're not going to be too happy, and may come and do it to you too, because they will come and destroy your shit. Like, they can take you can get dragons and tons of other creatures to tame. Because right now, I used to have four creatures. I used to have a bear. The other creature I had was a bear and an orc, but they both died in battle. So I was left with a skeleton, which I had to replace the skeleton because the skeleton got stuck. So I had to kill it, and then I placed the skeleton with Tammy, or I'm sorry, I had to change it to Scarlet, whatever. Haha. And then Stephanie the Sprite, who, mind you, Stephanie that Sprite has been with me since I've been able to tame. Like, she a trooper, man. She a trooper. And where is the freaking stone? Ooh, an elk. I need elk. I need elk. I need elk. I need to kill you, bro. Yes. Sorry about that. That's another thing. It's so quick to just stop flying. Like, this game is pretty badass. Like, I was talking with a couple of my friends, like, thinking, like, man, they should do this, um, kind of thing with, Harry Potter. Like, do, like, a Harry Potter kind of world, but don't call it Harry Potter. And have it to where, you go through schooling and, because they have a time on here, what time of day it is, and you go to school for that time, and you know, each day or each week that you're in school, you'll learn like new spells and shit and things that you can use in craft, and once you pass, you can pick what you want to do, and it's a very free range world where you can build what you want. Kind of like that, but with a more of a campaign mode. That would be pretty cool. And then it like it'll like ask you answers about your personality, and you can either lie if you want to know like what you know um, house you would be in, and like all the different houses, or You can pick your house if you want to, or you can have it to where it looks at all like any game you've ever played and tries to look at any games that have like a selection mode and what you picked to know if you're like a good person or not, or if you're humble, what kind of person you would be, or it looks at, the choices you made in this game. Like that would be badass to decide what, house you would go in. I think I may make it like give give me a lot more material because I'm starting to need more, and this takes a bit of time, which I don't mind, but I just want to get back to building. But this is part of the game, which I do love. It's just sometimes it's like maybe I should go faster. And another thing I love about this game is you can kind of decide what you want to do. Like if you want third person or first person. So right now I'm going to my little cottage. Um, I need to make some iron. I need to make some iron. I have to make some material for the for my house and stuff. Hell. Let me shut this door because they will try to come in. chair is like so uncomfortable. It keeps on like making these freaking noises. Okay, so that's gonna take a minute. Alright, guys, give me one moment because I'm starting to get my weird feeling. So I'm gonna take a pause real quick and I will be back, okay?